Continue now, the Egyptian Heaven and Hell by E.A. Wallis Budge, Volume 2, the short form of the Book of Yim Dewat and the Book of the Gates. We are in Chapter 1 of the Book of the Gates. In the divine house which my Father hath given me, he hath established for me a house in the high place of the lands where there are wheat and barley therein, the quantity of which is unknown. The son of my body acteth for me there as Kerhem. Grant ye unto me crawl offerings, that is to say, incense and merhet, ognet, and all beautiful and pure things of every kind wherein the God liveth. Well, God's omnipresent, right? Yes, you're the king, Manmat Ra, whose word is Mat, the son of the sun proceeding from his body, loving him, the Lord of diadems, the dual crown. The ruler of joy of heart, Ptah, whose word is Mat, exists forever in all the transformations which it pleaseth to make. He floateth down the river, he saileth up in the Suksat Yaru, he reacheth Suksat Hattap. I am the double lion deity. Hattap is pleasing. Sukst. Sukst, there. Power, strength, authority. But one thing repeating things in ritual can do to a person is that it can make a person, it can evoke these qualities and help us to establish them in ourselves. Now, trying to make yourself a god, when has that ever worked, right? Saith Yesir, Osiris, the king, the lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, whose word is Ma'at, the son of the sun, loving him, Stheh Mernptah, whose word is Ma'at. O ward off that destroyer from my father, Yesir, the king, the lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, whose word is Mat, and let his protection be under my legs, and let them live. Strengthen thou, Yesir, son of the sun, Lord of diadems, them and Ptah, whose word is Mat, with thy hand. Grasp thou him with thy hand, let him enter thy hand, let him enter thy hand. Okay, the Kerheb was the priestly official who read the funeral service. The field of reeds is what we're entering, the paradise, are mentioning. The field of peace. And Shu and Tufnut are the sixth Yaru. Oh, yes, you're king, lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, whose word is Mat. Thou shalt not perish. Nut cometh unto thee, and she fashioneth thee as the great fashioner, and thou shalt never decay. She fashioneth thee, she turneth thy weakness unto strength, she gathereth together thy members, she bringeth thy heart into thy body, and she hath placed thee at the head of the living doubles. Cow. Well, u-e instead of u is typically the double, plural. O Yesir, king, lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, whose word is Mat, before the beautiful entity, lord of Ta Chesert, Okay, it is ta. Nub ta rut. Chesrut. Okay. Chesrut, more likely. The double hand thing holding the club, how do you pronounce that? Because you definitely have RT there. Saith Yisur, the king, the lord of the two lands, Ma'at Ra, whose word is Ma'at, the son of the sun, from his body loving him, the lord of deities, Sete Mernpatah, whose word is Ma'at, the chapter of causing the soul to be united to its body in the underworld. Well, we definitely take our form to experience in the afterlife, right? Who, and this would be like automatic, it wouldn't be, if you don't know the magical formulas, no one's going to do it with you, and it's going to be done. Hail ye entities who bring Yinau is what they're called. Hail ye entities who run you is what they're called. Thou who dwellest in his embrace, thou great entity, grant thou that he may come unto me, my soul, from whomsoever it may be. If it would delay, then let my soul be brought unto me from wherever it may be. For thou shalt find the eye of Horus, standing by thee like those watchful entities. If I lie down, let it lie down in Yenu. Heliopolis is Yenu, the land wherein thousands are joined. Let my soul be brought unto me from wheresoever it may be. Make thou strong, O guardian of the sky and earth. This my soul, if it would tarry, do thou cause my soul to see its body, and thou shalt find the eye of standing by thee, even as do those. Hail ye entities who tow along the mode of the Lord of millions of years, who bring it into the upper regions of the Nuat, who make it to pass over Nut, and who make the soul to enter into its Saho spiritual body. Let your hands be full of weapons, and grasp them and make them sharp, and hold chains in readiness to destroy the serpent enemy. Let the boat rejoice, and let the great entity pass on in peace. And behold, grant ye that the soul of Yisur, King Manmat Ra, whose word is Mat, may emerge from the thighs and the eastern horizon of heaven forever and forever. Yisur, the king, lord of the two lands, Manat Ra, Saptap whose word is Mat, the son of Ra, loving Ptah, Skre, lord of the deities, them Ptah, whose word is Mat, saith, O ye Shanu beings, go ye round behind me, and let not these my members be without strength. Yisur, the king, the lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, Yah-Ra, whose word is Ma'at, the son of the sun, from his body loving him, lord of deities, Ptah, saith, O Nut, lift thou me up, I am thy son, do thou away from me that which maketh me to be without motion. Nut saith, O Yisur, the king, lord of the two lands, Manmat Ra, Yah-Ra, whose word is Mat, the son of the sun, proceeding from his body, loving him, the lord of deities, them Ptah, whose word is Mat. I have given thee thy head to be on thy body, and thy members of him that is them Ptah, whose word is Mat, shall never lack strength. And we see the prefix of that wavy thing, the n, as proceeding from, and nate, where is it? Nate, So what do these things mean symbolically? How can we take this from falsehood to truth? Why does divinity have to be, why would divinity have to be divided? I'm sharing what these texts say, and I'm not saying that all these things are God, or that, there's God of this and God of this and God of this and God of this. I'm relating what words are being said. So how can we connect these sorts of statements to the actual truth? On the outside of the cover, beneath the two scenes and text which occupied the upper part of it, was a horizontal line of hieroglyphs which contained two short speeches, the one by the demoness Newt, and the other by Thoth, Jehote. Remember my alt-right bird. To replace the alt-right, thank you very much, not whatever negative connotations you have the alt-right. That was not my intention with that. Same thing with the alt-left snake. I have another one coming up very shortly. The human. Well, also the cat, really. But maybe I'll do the dog another year. But the speech of Note is a duplicate of the opening lines that found at the bottom of the sarcophagus, and page 55. Number 5 there. The speech of Jehote is much mutilated and can have contained little except the promise to be with the king and a repetition of the royal name and titles. On the inside of the cover were text, many portions of which are identical, as we see from the fragments which remain, and the chapters from the Book of the Dead which are found at the bottom of the sarcophagus, and which have been described above. At each side of the figure, the winged demoness, which was cut on the breast, was a figure of the demon Jehote, who is seen holding a staff surmounted by the symbol of a knight. And knight's like the put symbol, but it has like a lantern here, and I guess that's the rest of the cord, and it's kind of tied down in there. So, when the cover was complete, there were probably 4 such figures upon it, and the texts which accompanied them were no doubt identical with those found in chapter 156 of the Book of the Dead. The scenes and inscriptions which cover the inside and outside of the sarcophagus were described and transcribed in the following chapters. Now, one of the purposes here is obviously to share of experience. And if you have experience with these texts, but one of the things that these things teach you, if you have nothing else and you have one source, well, this doesn't quite match my beliefs. You can, even as it's going along, you can adjust your response, your beliefs and your practices, and it teaches you how to supplicate and how to create the feeling and cosmologically set up things, because we want the good of this life. We want the good of the hereafter. We want to be in communion with the spirit world. Does that mean we have to worship the spirit world? No, but so hail as in, hey, hello, hail to you. So, Sharma, peace be upon you.